Stavros Tousios for markets. Today we're gonna close the week with euro dollar and also Aussie against the dollar. On euro dollar, we have come all the way to retest this bottom pretty much, and we have indeed formed a triple bottom, and of course we've actually bounced towards the towards 107, I would say, from levels close to 105. As we see, volatility is rising, okay, and that is going to make it harder for us to be able to determine which direction we're going to eventually take on the breakout direction, on the breakout, because you know, when volatility is high and you have had a leg to the downside, you know, it's harder to kind of determine where the next leg is typically. And we do know that as long as we are below the 50, sentiment remains, in this case, for example, to the downside, which would then imply a breakout will most likely be on the downside rather than you know, towards the upside. But deeper corrections can be seen, and perhaps even all of this is a correction on its own, which would then imply that we're going to go towards 110 and higher. Okay, the important thing to remember is this, that we have now formed a false break below this base channel. Okay, this time we didn't, maybe we reached it, we had an immediate rejection. This time we'll have a false break, which means the stop losses here were taken out. So there is more potential for upside now than it was before. Okay, although we do have a very big candle to deal with over here, a slight divergence to the upside that, with the current move that we see, still remains impulsive to the upside rather than anything else. So it is very important that we are able to retake the 107.31. This is the open of this candle that triggered that leg to the downside. It's very important we return there. And right now it looks like we are kind of above the 50%. You see, we are at 61.8. So there is potential for this to turn into a 5-wave leg. Once we retake this level, probably we see a correction and then potentially a further continuation, depending on what's going to happen around the 50%. Now, on Aussie has fallen a bit more than the euro. Of course, we have come close to the 61.8, but not really reached that level. Or maybe we did. Hold on. No, the eye is more accurate now, but still we haven't. Now we're moving up, and that price action looks a little bit corrective. Okay, which doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It could be an open wedge. Okay, and wedges typically lead to very big moves when they break out. Now, in the sort of shorter term that we're looking, okay, you will see here that we have broken outside this base downside trend. Okay, at the same time we've come and taken out that low from like last November. Okay, it's important that we didn't fall below that level, and it's even more important that we managed to stay above 65.24. Okay, and with the break now outside, what we would be looking for is clusters between the Fibonacci's. So on the way up, as you can see, we have the 38s coming up around 67.85, 67.90. This, as you can understand, is a cluster of the 38s. Okay, and if we manage to cross above that level, then of course you have the 50, and then above that, you know, things are going to become a bit more easier to you know, continue this rally to the upside. So an actual retracement could be seen. Now, on the 1 hour, what we are going to see is that as long as we remain outside, in this case, of this descending channel, okay, then the probabilities remain favoring the upside rather than anything else. So the 38 is going to be the next one to pay attention to. If we cross back below the base channel, we have to pay attention to 66.46 and then the 66.27. Okay, but even if we do the 62, it might be sort of gradual move to the downside, which would still keep us outside the channel, which I repeat is one of the key takeaways that we need to keep in mind from this video today.